Hello, good evening. It is 9 p.m. in Djibouti. It's time to English news, and for tonight headlines we have the departures of the head of state destinations of Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia-Herzegovina. A workshop for strengthening the National Protected Marine Area System. Concerning international scene, powerful earthquake hit Sulawesi Island in Indonesia. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margele, left today, Friday, the country bound of the city of Sarajevo, the capital of Federal Republic of Bosnia-Herzegovina, where he will transfer the Global Prize Islamic Finance Award, GIFA, which was awarded last year at the same time in September. The Global Islamic Finance Award is one of the highest mark of distinctions in the world of Islamic finance. It has been awarded once a year since 2011 when it was introduced, although it is automatically intended for an audience made up only of higher political leader. It is ultimately for to a leader every year who is judged to have contributed a lot to the promotions of Islamic finance. The President of Djibouti, His Excellency Ismail Margele, has until now counted for one of the two African heads of state who received this award. He had these distinctions in the distinctions of a leadership that allowed the establishment of rapid growth of Islamic finance in our country. It is indeed President Gele who is at the sources of establishment of an environment conducive to banking development and business at home, the process that led to the appearance since 2006 of Islamic finance, which today account for 20% of a total banking asset in Djibouti. Under his leadership, top Islamic finance did not open its only banks in Djibouti. It has found in our country a breeding ground conducive to increasing its feasibility internationally. Thus, under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margele, our country has hosted several international conferences of Islamic finance, the latest of which took place in November 2017. It is thus also that under the direct impulse of the head of state, it hosted the French translations of the Islamic Finance Dictionary. On his way to Bosnia and Herzegovina, he assigns himself to the procedures whereby the last recipient of the prizes passes it personally to the elected representative who succeed him directly in these acquisitions of the prestigious title. In this case, the president of that prize country, His Excellency Bahir Izetgovic, during his stay in Sarajevo, the President of the Republic will also meet on the sidelines of the ceremony dedicated to the transfer of the GIFA Prize with the main political authorities of the country. An important delegation is composed, among others, of the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the Republic of Turkey, Mr. Adan Hussein Abdullahi, accompanied the President of the Republic as part of this trip to Bosnia and Herzegovina. And we have Saturday, September 29, Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, sheltered a prestigious event that will light the growth of Islamic finance in the Balkans. The prestigious 8th edition of the Global Islamic Finance Award, Islamic Global Finance Award, is held in this martyr city after the wars of Bosnia in 1990 that was part of the splashes of Yugoslavia and led to a severe repression of Muslims in the region. The capital has surfaces to become a dynamic metropolis full of life and cultural heritage, the unique mix of Western and Oriental styles. The lifestyle and nice peoples give Sarajevo its single character. Bosnia-Herzegovina has started to reconstruct the majority state. One of the rare in Europe has today about 51% of its population of 3.5 million inhabitants who practice the Islamic religion. This year, the prize of GIFA 2018 will receive Sim Bahir Izetgovic, President of the Presidential College of Bosnia Herzegovina in recognition of his numerous contributions and his role in promoting Islamic finances. Mr. Ismail Geele, President of the Republic of Djibouti, will bring this trophy to his homologous in Bosnia, and in 2017 in Astana, Kazakhstan, President Geele was received the same prizes for her awesome effort in promoting Islamic finance in Djibouti. The head of state is expected tomorrow, September 29, 2018, to Sarajevo to take part in the ceremony, which stresses the rapid development of the Islamic finance in Bosnia and Herzegovina during the last 2 decades. Today, Bosnia and Herzegovina is moving forward to a promoting country. And we have Hidayah Mohammed Abdullahi outside with the presidential delegation in Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Good evening, Mohammed.
Hello, Hidayah. What is the atmosphere on the places, and how is the host countries is preparing the ceremony of tomorrow? What can you tell us about this?
First, let me tell you that indeed, exactly late afternoon today, Friday, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Geele, arrived in Sarajevo, the capital of the Federal Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And he was greeted on his way down by Bosnian officials as well as the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to Turkey, Mr. Adnan Hussein Abdullahi. For the agenda tomorrow, the head of state will present on Saturday, September 29, the Global Islamic Finance Award to his Bosnian counterpart, Bakir Izetkovic. Each year, this prize is awarded to institutions, governments, and personalities who work for the development and good practice of Islamic finance in their respective countries. If I tell you more, and not to forget as well, that last year in September 2017, the Global Leadership Award in Islamic Finance was awarded to the President of the Republic, Ismail Geele, President of Djibouti, for the remarkable progress made by Djibouti in the field of Islamic finance and under his patronage. It is thanks to the tireless efforts of President Geele that Djibouti now serves as a bridge for the Islamic banking and financial system in the East African region. And also, in tomorrow's agenda and for the preparations as well, the head of state will meet officially the President of Bosnia-Herzegovina at the presidential palace. And that's all I can tell you about this visit, Mohammed.
Thank you, Hidayah, for these explanations. And we have the 3-round international exhibitions of defense industry ADEX 2018 opened last Thursday at the Balkans Exhibition Center. ADEX 2018 brought together 224 companies representing 29 countries worldwide. A number of participating countries have expanded their national exposures compared to our previous year. The top 4 countries with the high numbers of companies represented at the show were Turkey 41 companies, Russia 25 companies, Israel 14 companies, and Belarus 10 companies with visitors on businessmen. The exhibition's geography covers 44 countries. The Republic of Djibouti was represented by a delegation led by His Excellency Ali Hassan Bahdon, Minister of Defense in charge of relations with the Parliament. The Minister was accompanied by the Colonel Mustafa Ali Handouleh, Defense Counselors to the President of the Republic. The Minister of Housing, Urban Planning and Environment organized yesterday in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, a workshop launched the project entitled Mitigation Sectoral Pressures on Marine and Coastal Biodiversity and Strengthening of the National System of a Marine Protected Area in Djibouti. The opening ceremony of the workshop is chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning and Environment, Mr. Dini Abdel Omar, in the presence of Mr. Idris, UNDP Program Officers, and Mr. Hussein Rirash Roble, Director of Environment and Sustainable Development. The objective of this project is to consolidate the actions of a heady undertaking in the management of marine protected area, to strengthening institutional capacity, improving the financial viability and effectiveness of the marine protected area management system by integrating marine biodiversity into the main maritime sectors. The project launched yesterday has 4 components that address the main obstacles identified for effective management of MPAs, strengthening the effectiveness of Djibouti marine protected area system through capacity building for all stakeholders, including dialogue to mainstream biodiversity in the maritime sectors, expansions of the national networks of MPA, and strengthening the management of MPAs at the site level, sustainable financing mechanism for marine biodiversity, and the national systems of protected area, gender mainstreaming, knowledge management, and monitoring and evaluations. The implementation of the activities of this project will contribute to improving the living conditions of the population concerned, while strengthening the preservation of the marine and coastal environment. For his part, the General Secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Mr. Dini Abdallah, explained the objective of the project is to consolidate the actions undertaken and improve the financial viability and effectiveness of the management system of the marine protected area. After intense of the 5 weeks, the trainings on tracing a fawn, also called insable tracking, closed on Thursday in the premises of the Police Academy Idris Farah Habane. The fight against crime is nowadays a priority for all government, and use is increasingly sophisticated, and especially it is in the context that the general directions of the national police asked for the help of experts coming to train the OPG agents on this problematic. The closing ceremony saw the participation of the general directors of the Academy, Lieutenant Colonel Ilmi Daher Miguel, and experts from France, thanks to the technology of tracking mobile phone trackings, which makes it possible to geolocate police officers gain time since they receive all the data directly on their devices, such as where to conduct the interventions or any information necessary for their mission. The closing ceremony of the financial crime training was complete with the distributions of the gift to officials and takings of the traditional group photo. It is agreed that the director of this Idris Farah Habane, it is a privilege to speak, he said, for its part. On behalf of my colleagues, he said, took part in this training. During this training, we exchanged and professional experiences, and the experts also shared their expertise on the issue. On behalf of all the participants of the 6-week training, I would like to thank the experts for their availability, but also for the quality of the courses that were given to us, he said. As part of the sporting activity, the Djiboutian Football Federation organized the closing ceremony of the arbitrationist training in Djibouti, which begins on 24 September 2018 to 29 September 2018 at the National Technical Center for Referee National High Level by the expert FIFA Mr. Yves Raphael, technical instructors of the Cameroon nationality, and Mr. Mohamed Ahmed Gabon of Djiboutian nationality yesterday morning. On the other hand, the national instructors also who attend this seminar, his physical instructors Hasna Abdallah Ali and Abdul Rashid, the technical instructors, following the seminar that took place during 4 days. All the referees participating in the summer were awarded a certificate to the FIFA expert and steering committee of the Djiboutian Football Federation. On the 27th of the September 2018, Colonel Wais Omar Boghor, commanders of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, and the Lieutenant Colonel of Ahmed Daher Jama, commanders of the French Navy, commanders welcomed the Admiral Hassan Saeed Al-Sharani, new commanders of the CTF 115, on a working visit to our country. This is multi-country international forces whose main mission is in the maritime safety and security, as well as the fight against illegal activities at sea and the fight against maritime piracy. The meeting was an opportunity for the various officials to discuss points of common interest in the maritime security and the Gulf of Aden and Bab el-Mandeb, as well as a way to strengthen the existing cooperation and collaboration. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training has launched a charitable campaign and grassroots distributions of the school uniform for children from the interior region. Thus, this campaign of the region started yesterday in the region of Dakhil and will continue in other regions. The Head of State, Mr. Ismail Gelle, joined the campaign by taking full charge of the uniforms of Nasib school students, schools welcoming their children and the homes affected in the fire of Barbala, which were relocated in Nasib city, built by the EOJ Foundation. The First Lady of Djibouti and President of the UNFD, Ms. Khadra Mahmoud Haid, for her part, offered 900 outfits to the orphan students in the chief towns of the region. The parent committee expresses their complete satisfaction and pay tribute to the President of the Republic, the First Lady, and the MEFOB for this generosity that will allow thousands of disadvantaged children to benefit. School uniform, free title school uniform, are today a flagship measures in the policy of transformation of the public schools, which must become a crucible of national identity, in addition to being the high places of the instruction education of children. As part of the Sport Federation's the closing ceremony of the arbitration trainings, which begins to the technical centers, the technical instructors of Cameroon, and yesterday morning at the national instructors, also physical instructor Hassan Ahmed Abdullah, and following the seminars that took place 4 days, all the referees participated in this were awarded the certifications. Concerning, we have a little magazines on the prepared by our colleagues concerning by our colleague Abdurrahman Shivashi.
Promoting the physical, intellectual, and social development of the child from an early age is the goal of the National Policy for Integrated Early Childhood Development, initiated by the Ministry of Women and Family and supported by UNICEF. It all began in 2009 and 2010 school year. The first 5 community structure from the early childhood care called first-class sections were created. Today, this figure has been multiplied by 6 to reach 30 centers in Djibouti City as well as the interior regions. To carry out this mission, the Ministry of Women and Family has trained all daycare educators to familiarize them with the tools for framing early childhood education and to appropriate daycare programs. Here at PK 12, there are at least 60 children, mainly from low-income families, who attend this daycare. Neighborhood communities have been involved and parents sensitized through parenting education. Parents who did not hide their satisfaction. This is a good initiative from the government that meets the need of the people with a noble cause. This relieves us because we can go to work knowing that our children are in good hands. More than 1,000 children between the age of 3 and 5 are now registered in the community daycare center. The peculiarity of these daycare centers is that they represent a structure of reception for the children for the most vulnerable families of the city and the regions of interior. They allow poor families to send their children with daycare. They allow poor families to send their children to childcare for free for basic learnings. That is why the Ministry of Women and Family has made available to them all the educational means and supplies necessary for the development of the child.
gaardarigan wuxuu jiraa 8 sano waxaa noo furtay wasaaradda haweenka.
This daycare center has existed now for almost 8 years, and this is due to the Ministry of Women's with this initiative. In addition to daycare, the department is currently testing community kindergartens to see more closely how this pilot phase unfolds. We went to one of the community kindergarten in neighborhood 4, a trained maternal assistance care for the children's aged between 2 and 3. Toddlers seems already home to life in group. They are taught the alphabet coloring. We keep children's age between 2 and 3. We call on the average Djiboutians who want to have their children's to go to these kindergartens. We are here for them. According to the ministry, this framework of early childhood development meets the needs of the child cognitively and socially as well as emotionally, but also physically. All means are implemented to sustain and develop this approach.
Le ministère s'occupe des
The ministry takes care of all the daycare center in the whole city and even those of the interior regions. We have 29 daycare centers all over the country, 15 in the capital and 14 in the regions. We provide all the supplies to all the educators when it comes to books, pen, and everything. This program is part of the protections and promotions of the right of the child. The Ministry of Women and the Family works with all the departments involved in this issue, including the Ministry of Education, because the community daycare program is one of the priority elements in strengthening this right.
On Thursday, September 27, 2018, the Union for Development and Culture (UDC) organized the official inauguration ceremony of its library in its headquarters located in the western South Marshes behind the university. This ceremony was marked by the presence of the former Prime Minister Mr. Abdallah Mohamed Kamil, parliamentarian, the representative of UDC partners and customary leaders. This library was named in the name of the late Ali Dato Mohammed, a career diplomat and active members of the young age group in recognition of all his efforts in providing educational support to this organization and particularly to the needy. The association's Maleko celebrate last Tuesday its first birthday at the headquarters of Sheikh Musa Balbala. The event held the participations of the leader of the association, including the President Burali Aden, the Deputy President Abdurrahman Yusuf Barre, the General Secretary and Animators Yusuf Jama Farah, and second assistants of the President, women of the neighborhood, many vice peoples and several young members of the association. Shimbir Maleko was born on September 25, 2017 and aimed to fight against unemployment and poverty and promotion of neighborhood, where the association has installed several seats. Several interventions took place during this ceremony commemorating the first anniversary of the association, including those of the Deputy President Abdurrahman Yusuf Barre, the Secretary General and Animators Yusuf Jama Farah. In turn, they thanked the resident of the neighborhood and the member of the association for their support of through the years that has happened. Taking the floor, the president of this association recounts the various activities that were carried out by his association and congratulate the member for the work, their abnegations. He pointed out that several other activities are being carried out and that all means have been put in place for the success of later. He finally appealed to all of the generous donors and sponsors to come forward for the activities of the association to be carried out in time. And now concerning the international scene, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake rocked Indonesia central Sulawesi island on Friday. The USGS said while no information was available on any casualty in the immediate future. More details in this report.
A powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake Friday, just hours after a smaller child killed at least one person in the same part of the country. The quake hit central Sulawesi Island at its shoal depth of some 10 kilometers 6 miles, the U.S. Geological Survey said. The country's National Disaster Agency briefly used a tsunami warning before cancelling it. There were no immediate reports of deaths or injuries, but the latest quake was a higher magnitude than those that killed hundreds on the line of Lombok area this year. Friday's tremor was centered 78 kilometers north of the city of Palu, the capital of Central Sulawesi province, but was felt in the fire suit of the island into its largest city, Makassar. Lysia Soba Apaloyan, a resident of Toraja, around 175 kilometers south of Palu, say locals felt several quakes Friday.
His statement was like a bomb. From the UN platform, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accused Iran with supporting cars of harboring a secret atomic storage site in Tehran. Listen to Hinda Ibrahim for details.
While Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said updating that Israel had obtained tens of thousands of documents from Iran's secret atomic archive, proving the country had been covertly developing its nuclear weapons and know-how.
This is it for tonight news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.